reparation because they think the people that do the crime are owed that. Bullshit. They want reparation because they think the people that do the crime are owed that. Bullshit. They want reparation because they think the people that do the crime are owed that. Bullshit. Some people say, well, they're soft on crime. No, they're not soft on crime. They're pro-crime. They want crime. They want crime because they want to take over what you got. They want to control what you have. Some people say, well, they're soft on crime. No, they're not soft on crime. They're pro-crime. They want crime. They want crime because they want to take over what you got. They want to control what you have. Some people say, well, they're soft on crime. No, they're not soft on crime. They're pro-crime. They want crime. They want crime because they want to take over what you got. They want to control what you have.
When these people are talking, even if you're a black person and you have similar ideas to these people, they are never talking to you. These are factions of a military in a war against you. They are never talking to you. You are never invited to the raisins in potato salad. You're never invited. Cut the check and shut the fuck up. That's what needs to happen.
Look at this. Now you know it smells like ass.
Some people say, well, they're soft on crime. No, they're not soft on crime. They're pro-crime. They want crime. They want crime because they want to take over what you got. They want to control what you have.
That's right. That's right. And I'm going to make sure that I always remind people, you better make sure you got a lock on your shit. Because if you ain't got a lock on your shit, I'm coming for it. Just like how the United States didn't have locks on it and people came from Europe and came for it, I'm coming for your shit. I could be right there when the elevator opens. I could be in your garage in your nice neighborhood when you hit the button on the garage changer. I might pop out black as hell. If your grandmother reaches into her purse, I might reach out from the purse like the Night of the Living Dead, like Freddy Krueger, and yank her old ass right inside of that purse. You open up your trunk to put the groceries in the car. By the time you get to where you need to be, it ain't gonna be shit but empty paper bags and chicken bones in there. Cause I'm gonna eat all that shit and then barrel roll my ass out your car. We coming for yo shit, boy. We coming for your shit, boy.
They want reparation because they think the people that do the crime are owed that. Bullshit.
Shit bull. You say we all doing crime? We about to all start doing crime. Thank you for the green light.
They are not owed that. Some people say, well, they're soft on crime. No, they're not soft on crime. They're pro-crime. They want crime. They want crime because they want to take over what you got. They want to control what you have. They want reparation because they think the people that do the crime.
Yeah. 42 million black people doing crime at the same time. Thanks to Tommy Tuberville. You know, when I was thinking about the election, I thought that a lot of Republicans would win. So I was saying I think that there's going to be a red wave. Nah, I don't think so. with the way that the economy is, and now that I know that white people think that all black people are criminals and that we're entitled to just something that we're not deserving of, I thought it was going to be a red wave this election. I see an oil spill coming this election. And I ain't talking about the gas prices. I ain't talking about the gas prices. I want to see an oil spill. This Karen has gone full white nationalist. I got a question for you guys. Do you think that her and Kanye West got in some kind of entanglement? You know, sometimes that starts happening. You start fucking around with people and then you start sounding like each other. What do you guys think? You think Kanye gave her some of that dropout dick and she said, fuck it, I'm just going full white nationalist? I don't know. But she's had it. She's done. You know what I'm saying? She's tired of it. Now, you know what I find funny? And the reason why I'm asking about Kanye is because she used the same dog whistles that Kanye West used. She talked about the Jays too. She just didn't mention their names. She called them quote unquote elitist. Everybody's happy. Oh, Tulsi, you've come home. Notice how they didn't say that to Kanye. That's because you ain't got a home, boy. That's because you ain't got a home. But you see, like I said, Tulsi Gabbard, you know what I'm saying? Joe Rogan, all these kind of people, they're celebrated. The population at large tells on themselves. Former presidential candidate Tulsi Gabbard says she's leaving the Democratic Party. I'm done. If you was a real politician, you wouldn't be a part of no party anyway. Yeah, facts, Black. What up with it, bro? She talking about anti-white racism. She's not even white. You know how white people like to do that shit? They dealing with a mixed person or, you know, dealing with a light-skinned person. You're not even black. Oh, really? Well, what's your definition of black? Well, guess what? She's not even white. She's not even white. But she's concerned about that anti-white racism. The thing that I find fascinating is that anti-white racism is perpetuated by other white people, but white people are so on code they never call it out. They'll try to use black people as the face of anti-white racism when the people that fund and propagate anti-white racism are other translucenites. They're other translucenites. You know what I'm saying? Former Congresswoman and 2020 presidential candidate Tulsi Gabbard announced that she is leaving the Democratic Party, and then there was echoes because no one cares. Tulsi Gabbard said, "I'm leaving. I can. No. Longer. That's how empty that shit was. That's how little anybody cares about what your post-wall, over-the-hill ass is doing. So let me ask this question. We've been bringing up Kevin Samuels a lot. We're going to bring up Kevin Samuels again. Do you think the late Kevin Samuels would say, Tulsi, when it comes to political parties, you chose wrong? She's a very modern woman. I can no longer remain in today's Democrat Party, she said on an episode of her podcast. That people who do shit like put blocks together on Minecraft get more views than. It's now under the complete control of an elitist cabal of warmongers driven by cowardly wokeness. Now, she's talking about the J community, and she's talking about us. But nobody is outraged. You don't see Tulsi Gabbard on the cover of New York Post. I don't see anybody shoving microphones in The Rock's face asking, do you condemn Tulsi Gabbard for her anti-Semitic comments? You know, because she is Samoan like you. Nope. That kind of stuff only happens to black people. There's some black person on the other side of the world do some crazy shit. Somebody come find my ass, waking me up at 7 o'clock in the morning talking about, do you condemn this shit that this black person does? Well, who the fuck is that? Who is this? Where are they from? I never even heard of this person or this city. And you asking me, do I condemn this motherfucker? Man, go on somewhere. I'm not buying any. Click and don't call back. Damn. We need to put out the calls to the native indigenous people of Hawaii and ask, do they condemn Tulsi Gabbard? Man, I don't know what it is about Hispanic Heritage Month. Maybe they really care that much about being honorary white supremacists that they decide to act out during the month of their Hispanic heritage to solidify how big of a part anti-black racism actually is within their heritage. But man, they acting a damn fool. And they drawing lines in the sand. Now, you know what's crazy? Man, you don't hear any black politicians sounding hostile like this. And yet, if black politicians say one thing that white people don't like, man, it's all kind of Marxism and all kinds of communist takeovers. And I mean, shit, you would think that Putin had troops on the ground in the United States. The way that they over dramatize everything. You would think. You know what I'm saying? But you don't hear that for some reason. Why is it that these black politicians sound so lukewarm and watered down? That's my question. What do you guys think about that? Why is that? Man, these white politicians come and beat their chest to anti-black racism. I hate you niggas. You're all criminals. Fuck this woke shit. The only person that sounds halfway gangster that's a black politician is Maxine Waters. And not because she's actually doing anything gangster, because it sounds like she smokes a pack of Newports, then smokes a pack of Salem's, and then drinks a fifth of Hennessy before she goes to sleep. She got that cancer sounding voice. Listen here now. I'm about tired of you niggas acting up out here. She got that Harlem Night swag. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't because she doing anything out here. Just, you know what I'm saying? Some people just got the G swag. You know what I'm saying? She got that swag like an old ass madam. You know what I'm saying? Like an old ass pimp. You You Negroes better get y'all motherfucking asses in line and go on over there and vote before I take my belt off and whoop your ass with it. Yeah, sounding like Wheezy and shit. Of course. You guys already know. 9 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock p.m. It don't matter when I go live. Somebody gonna call right while I'm in the middle of the stream. You know what I'm saying? You know how your friends be. Nigga, you live? I see you on YouTube. Yeah, bro. She probably do smoke Pall Malls or those Parliament cigarettes and have them, you know what I'm saying, in her teeth. Shout out to my man Black Star Racer. What up with it, bro? She's sipping some of that Wild Irish Rose, some MG 2020, talking about Billy D. Williams and shit. I drank Coke 45 because I love me some Billy D. Man, you know you old as all hell. Damn. Hang it up. Talking about you love you some Billy D. Gabbard additionally accused the party of quote unquote stoking anti-white racism. So she's accusing this white party of stoking anti-white racism. What kind of anti-white racism is it that we're dealing with here? For whatever reason, when it comes to the Democrats, most of what I see is the Democrats being extremely and exclusively anti-black. I mean, we just had, shout out to Nuri Martinez, that entire fiasco there. She wasn't talking about white people, very much at least. She said one white man was a bitch. What is anti-white racism? Can someone explain to me how anybody in here has ever systemically harmed white people? Anti-white racism. I'm going to tell you guys what anti-white racism means. That means holding white people accountable for their contribution and the benefit that they get from current day conditions that was set up by past events. That's what anti-white racism means. It basically means accountability. That's what woke means. It means accountability. Slavery created the racial wealth gap. You're woke. All of these terms that these uncreative translucenites come up with is to shut down any kind of conversation or any kind of rebuttal and attempt to shame you away from talking about it. No more, no less. That's it. So now here it says being contemptuous towards a religion and police and driving the country closer to nuclear war. So I'm trying to figure out how, again, wokeness is driving the country towards nuclear war. I don't understand that. Joe Biden is driving the country closer towards nuclear war. If you guys agree Joe Biden is driving the country closer towards nuclear war, give me a thumbs up. If you don't think so, give me a thumbs down. What do you guys think? Let me know. What do you guys think? Gabbard was first elected to her native state of Hawaii's legislature in 2002 as a Democrat. So another thing that you guys should pay attention to is Tulsi Gabbard. She's a walking, breathing, living example of the POC to WS pipeline that I was talking about that United States politics creates. There's a people of color to white supremacist pipeline that's been created, not only through immigration, but through American politics. Do you guys ever notice that? The people of color cling to and attempt to overtake and ingratiate themselves into initiatives and things that happened with us. As they start to build themselves from government policies that they get through Lift All, Voices, Acts, and different things like that, they start to move more further towards the anti-black white right. And then they just go full white supremacist, and they're accepted because they're saying the right thing. Remember, if we can't reproduce our bodies fast enough, if we can't clone ourselves fast enough, the more people that we have walking around who have their ideology and thought patterns programmed by our playbook, that is almost as good as creating more white people. So the POC, the creation of POC, is actually an addendum to the white replacement theory that white people have come up with. Because what you're doing now is you've created a bunch of replacement white supremacists instead of white people actually being replaced. So that is their code. And as you can see, it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat. It doesn't matter if you're a Republican. When it comes to white supremacy, the leader is the code. So now here it says in 2012, Gabbard became the first Hindu and one of the first 2 female combat veterans elected to Congress. She began building a national profile during the 2016 election when she resigned from her post as vice chairperson of the Democratic National Committee to endorse Bernie Sanders for president. She announced her own presidential run on CNN in January of 2019, saying there's one main issue that is central to the rest. That is the issue of war and peace. All right. So that article right there was a hot bag of nothing. Can you guys feel the heat? Everybody's drawing lines, especially the people of color. See, see trending now. Juliana Nalu. I don't know who the hell Juliana Nalu is. I guess she Kanye West's new girlfriend. Kanye West liked them sex tape women, so I don't know what her history is or anything like that. But I guarantee you at some point she'll find herself on the Bad Girls Gone Worse series. What do you guys think? Over here, you see where it says recommended? It says Ohio incel faces life in prison in plot to massacre 3,000 sorority girls. What's that? Is anybody surprised by that? If you guys are surprised that this incel here was going to massacre all these women, give me a thumbs up. What's wrong with these incels that they just had these plans to take out all these women? What's going on there? Does anybody know, like, why is that suddenly happening? And I'm trying to get this video to play. New York Post, as much money as they have, for whatever reason, their site is horrible. They need to get some new programmers or something. Here it is. Okay, here we go. Let's listen.
Democratic Party. I'm
dramatic and I'm a Karen. And I can just no longer support the Democratic Party. I mean, it's just so dramified. This is your person of color coalition right here. These are politically orchestrated Caucasians. That's what POC stands for. No person of color is black. All of these people of color are problematic, obviously, cave people. That's what POC stands for. There's a lot of different things that POC can stand for. But just listen to Tulsi Gabbard. She acts as if black people were beating down her door asking her for something. The only thing that any black person that I know ever asked Tulsi Gabbard for was to shut the hell up and stop calling yourself a person of color. That whole POC thing is a hustle for white people to be able to get away from their whiteness and then be able to be as racist as they want to. Look at all of the white Latinos in California. Well, I'm not white. I got a tan. So that means that I can say the N-word. No, it doesn't mean that you can say anything other than I have a tan. But see, nobody is stopping that shit. Nobody's like hard checking these people. And it's kind of hard to check these people, or kind of hard to stop this kind of stuff when you don't really have like a strong or appropriate media vehicle or a strong or appropriate media apparatus. And in my opinion, that's one of the reasons why that's something that we really need to strive to get. If you guys agree with that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Let's listen.
I can no longer remain in today's Democratic Party that's under the complete control of an elitist cabal of warmongers who are driven by cowardly wokeness, who divide us by racializing every issue and stoking.
This is, again, right here, another instance of white people not being able to take accountability for their creation of race, racism, segregation, apartheid. All of that stuff is stuff that white people did. Race-based class systems like Asiento de Negros and the caste system in India, and her being somebody who's allegedly a Hindu, not acknowledging that. We don't share any responsibility in any of the negativity that was created by the institution of racism that her descendants came up with, that she benefits from today. Cut the check and shut the fuck up. That's what needs to happen.
Anti-white racism, who actively
anti-white racism. So as long as everybody in the United States knows that anti-white racism is a huge problematic issue, you're okay. We've done statistics and we've done studies about the increases of the victims of hate crimes. Let me ask you guys a question in the comment section. Who experienced the greatest amount of hate crimes in 2021? What group of people? White people are always at the bottom of the hate crime list, and they're always the number one perpetrator of hate crimes. Every single time. So now my question for her is, what is she talking about? Now, remember, this is a government official, somebody that actually had power, policy power. And she feels comfortable and emboldened to sit here and lie like this. My question for you guys is why? And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't smashed the like button, please make sure you guys smash that like button. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and make sure you hit the bell.
Work to undermine our God-given freedoms that are enshrined in our Constitution, who are hostile to people of faith and spirituality, who demonize the police but protect criminals at the expense of law-abiding Americans, who believe in open borders.
So when they say criminals, they're talking about black people. When they say law-abiding, Christian, hardworking Americans, they're talking about white people. That's what they mean. It doesn't matter how they try to squirm and wiggle their way out of it. That's what they mean. If that's not what they meant, then Tommy Tuberville would not have addressed black people as criminals. So we need to stop giving these people wiggle room for their nonsensical explanations and start hammering them to the wall like Blade does in my intro. When they talk about criminals, when you're listening to someone like Tulsi Gabbard, criminal equals black person, good law-abiding people equals white people. These are good, wholesome Americans. They're never talking about black people when they talk about good, wholesome Americans. They're never talking about black people when they're talking about good Christian Americans. None of these people are ever referring to you as anything good except for you look good in a casket or you look good behind bars.
In our Constitution, who are hostile to people of faith and spirituality, who demonize the police but protect criminals at the expense of law-abiding Americans, who believe in open borders, who weaponize the national security state to go after their political opponents.
I thought the passport bros had a handle on these bitches. Seemed like this one that got away. Where them passport niggas at? I thought they had the handles on bitches like this.
And above all, who are dragging us ever closer to nuclear war. Now, I believe in a government that's of the people, by the people, and for the people. Unfortunately, today's Democratic Party does not. Instead, it stands for a government that is of, by, and for the powerful elite.
Facts. The only time they call us Americans is during the Olympics. Again, exploiting stereotypes. Cameron said Tulsi ain't a foreigner. She's a person of color. She looks like a Karen Sita, but she claims that she's Samoan. I think she's Samoan and white or something like that. As far as I'm concerned, she's white. This is that era where you can identify with everything. You know what I'm saying? You can identify with anything. I could say that I'm a coffee mug and it will fly. You know what I'm saying? So she can say that she's not white and it flies. And then she can turn around and say this kind of stuff and it'll somewhat slide under the radar because, you know, I mean, she's a minority. There's that M word again. She's a minority. You know what I'm saying? Oh, absolutely. My question is, what does she put on her job application? Cameron Jones says she's spicy Indian, so she's Steph Curry. If you guys agree with Carlton that Tulsi Gabbard puts white on her job application, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. I've never seen a job application or an EEOC form that has the term person of color on it. Have you guys? Is there anybody that's ever seen the term person of color on any official government documents? And if nobody's ever seen that term used anywhere, my question is, why are we using it? I've never seen it anywhere. So my question is, why are we using it?
Now, I'm calling on my fellow common sense, independent-minded Democrats to join me in leaving the Democratic Party.
She's talking about those white Democrats. what's that dude's name? Like Manchin. And you guys remember when I did that stream and we talked about that blue MAGA sector of the Democrats? That's what she's talking about. These people are, you got to understand, when these people are talking, they, even if you're a black person and you have similar ideas to these people, they are never talking to you. These are factions of a military in a war against you. They are never talking to you. You are never invited to the raisins in potato salad. You're never invited. Okay?
If you can no longer stomach the direction that the so-called woke Democratic Party ideologues are taking our country, then I invite you to join me.